Welcome, guys. In this video, I'm going to give you guys 3 rookie wide receivers you must draft for this fantasy football 2022 season. There's a ton of rookie wide receivers this year. I narrowed it down to 3 that I really like based on talent, based on opportunity, based on the quarterback throwing to them potentially for 2 of these guys. Like these guys a lot, and the value is really good. So you're getting a lot here. You're getting a good player, good talent, good value, everything you need to have a guy potentially break out at the wide receiver position. And that's why you must draft these guys based on the current value, current ADP, talent, opportunity, everything like that. So 3, I'm going to lay it out for you guys here nice and quick. Before I do, guys, if you are new to the channel, smash that thumbs up. And also let me know in the comments which wide receiver you like. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're in the car, head on over to YouTube, subscribe there as well. And in the comments, dive in and let me know who you guys like at the wide receiver position that is a rookie. We're talking rookie specifically here, okay? And finally, guys, get that 16-round draft solution. Use code TUBE20. This is the game changer, guys. Draft kits are dead. Cheat sheets are dead. This is a video training with all the optimal players drafted in each round, laying it out for you, sleepers, breakouts, doing mock drafts for you guys in the video training. It's like having me at the draft with you. Use code TUBE20. Save yourself 20%. Lion mentality, guys. This is going to give you as close you can possibly get to a bulletproof roster. Get 16 rounds. It is the game changer. Use code TUBE20. Save yourself 20%. Go do that right now. Just Google 16-round draft solution if you can't find it anywhere else. If you can't find the link, if you're in the car, or just go to thefantasyfootballcounselor.com. Go grab it, guys, right now. All right, let's talk about this, guys. Now, there is a ton of rookies that came in, and there's a ton of rookies that people may draft, and there's a ton of rookies that may bust or just will not get the traction that you want or desire. Now, example of a good rookie that was drafted was Jameson Williams, Detroit Lions, but they've got Amon-Ra St. Brown there, they've got DJ Shark there, they've got a suspect offense there, they got DeAndre Swift catching the ball in the backfield, they got TJ Hawkinson. Not really like the best position for Williams there in regards to wide receiver. I mean, he could break out. Amon-Ra St. Brown, God forbid, breaks his leg week 1. Goff starts gravitating to Williams, and boom, you've got yourself a wide receiver 1. Hawkinson just doesn't become a factor in the passing game. But looking at it on paper, that's a quick example of why I left a guy like Williams out. And there's so many other different situations where I'm looking at him like John Mechie III. Do I trust Davis Mills, right? There, again, I can sit here and break it down. I already know this stuff, right? And that's why 16 rounds has all the answers, because I've done all this research for you and I laid out everything. All the optimal players are drafted in each round, where to draft them. Everything is laid out, right? Omitting guys and ranking the rookies the way I like them. Everything is there. But in this video, I want to focus on 3 that I like. And again, some people will say, well, why don't you like, John Mechie III, if I'm pronouncing that right, on Houston, right? I do like them, but not as much as I like these 3, okay? So these are the 3 that really kind of jump out at me, all right? The first guy here, and I just had her on, Tori, the beat writer for the Falcons. And if you haven't checked out the Impact series, I've linked it below here on YouTube. I'm going over and I'm meeting with all the beat writers, all the ambassadors, all the influencers that talk and report on specific teams, breaking down each individual team, right? So I just met with Tori McElhenney. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. I'm bad at names sometimes. I had her on, and we talked about this guy, and we talked about the Atlanta Falcons. First guy I'm talking about here is Drake London. Now, you've heard me talk about him in other videos, but let's talk about why you must draft him, okay? Now, she wasn't as overly optimistic as I am. She likes Drake London, but she just likes Kyle Pitts a little bit more. Looking at both of their average draft positions, Drake London is sitting 39th amongst wide receivers in the rankings. So you can get this guy for an absolute steal. I got him you can get him as early as the 4th, 5th round. He'll probably fall. Like, people in your league probably won't even know or probably won't even care because he's not popular, right? He's not on the hype train. He's on Atlanta. He's a rookie. They're uncertain. But I'll tell you this, right? The earliest I get him is the 5th round. That's a bit of a reach, right? I think you can get him after that. You get him 7th round. Just keep doing some mock drafts. He falls. I mean, again, I did some mock drafts where people are aware of him and he comes off earlier because they see the wide receiver 1 value. I'm looking at Drake London here. I'm looking at the depth chart right now. I'm on the Falcons site. Listen, I'm looking at the depth chart, and I see Drake London has no competition. He's got Brian Edwards, but he sucks. He got Zacchaeus there, who isn't that good. He can be a factor if he needs to be. They got Marcus Mariota, who's got to play for his career. Now, Desmond Ritter's come in as the rookie. It's a battle, right? The question is with this team, as it is with many other teams, is the quarterback. Do we trust the quarterback? And it's one of those, like, it's hard to trust the quarterback. We know Mariota can throw the deep ball. We know Mariota can move the chains and move the ball downfield if he had to. He's building that rapport. He's growing with Drake London, who's coming in as a rookie. He's a veteran quarterback. He has started before in the NFL, so you have some sort of confidence that there is some sort of safety blanket that Mariota can move the ball downfield. In comes Drake London. You've got no other wide receiver there. You've got Pitts, who could be a wide receiver, but he's still, at the end of the day, still a tight end. Will he be used as a player like Travis Kelce? That's yet to be seen, right? Is he going to be that reliable safety blanket to Mariota? Pitts, very possible. I like Pitts, but I just don't like paying for him as high as he's going. He's a top 3 tight end in regards to ranking, so he's going to come off very early, right? Second, third round, where I'm loading up running backs. Even, let's say he falls to the 4th round. That's decent value. But again, you're taking a bit of a risk with the Mariota early draft pick, Pitts, second year. I like the ceiling, and so does Tori, the beat writer. But Drake London appeals to me a little bit more because, again, I can get him in the 7th round. I get the value. I get the wide receiver 1. I get 0. And I'm telling you, I get 0 competition here at the wide receiver position. Now, he's a big body receiver. I think he's like 6'4", big guy, big target. And when you watch him play, he plays with confidence, strong, brings the ball down with confidence, can be a good red zone target for Marcus Mariota or Desmond Ridder if he ends up getting the starting job. Still unclear in regards to what's going on there. Either way, I love Drake London this year. I love the value. I love the opportunity. I love the fact that there's no committee there at wide receiver. He's a plug-and-play early round draft pick for the Atlanta Falcons, 1st round. They love him, okay? Absolutely love him. He's going to be used, okay? I think this is an absolute draft steal. I talked about him, I believe in my draft steal video or one of those videos. Love him. Must draft. Great value. Again, your league may be sleeping on him. Depends on which league you're in. 12-person league. You got casuals with you playing. They're going to be reaching for guys like guys that they may know, right? Guys that they've heard on the news. They're like, oh, well, that name sounds familiar. So even though he's a wide receiver 3 on his team, I'm going to go ahead and draft him, right? They might get like a DJ Chark or something like that. And Chark could have a good year, right? Or they might get a name that, I'm trying to find another name that's kind of like they may get like a Marvin Jones or something like that, or a name they know over a guy that has the higher ceiling in Drake London. I can't stop talking about it. I could be wrong. This guy completely bust, but you're not paying high to get him. Drake London's number 1. Number 2. Now let's talk about the situation. I've mentioned it before. You've seen my videos. I'm really high on him. I don't hear the hype on him. By the way, Drake London's sitting 39th on the consensus rankings. This guy's sitting 64th. On the consensus rankings. It's absolutely ludicrous. It's absolutely insulting. And the guy I'm talking about is Christian Watson. Now, I'm taking a look at the depth chart with the Green Bay Packers. Let's break this down here for you and why I love him so much. He was the first wide receiver picked by the Packers, I believe in the 2nd round, 3rd pick. Now, you wondered why they didn't go wide receiver in the 1st round. A lot of good wide receivers came off the board early. By the time it got to them, they're like, maybe Watson can fall to the 2nd. Sure enough, he did. Great. Again, this is what I like about this. Great opportunity. It's all about opportunity and depth chart. Great talent from what we're hearing on paper, right? The guy can catch the deep ball. The guy's got pretty solid speed. He can be a reliable target. I'll give you the plus, I'll give you the minuses, okay? Great opportunity, great talent, young. Obviously, high draft capital. They got him in the 2nd round. They need a wide receiver, okay? Adams is gone. 169 freed up targets. There is a void there. So I love Christian Watson simply predicated on opportunity, volume, and the quarterback throws him. It's Aaron Rodgers we're talking about here. We're not talking Marcus Mariota. We're talking Aaron Rodgers. So I don't even know how to tell you this, how excited I am about Christian Watson. There's a huge opportunity. Now let's talk about the depth chart. Mind you, I'll give you a free sleeper here. Robert Tonyan, getting him as my tight end, coming back from an injury, but he should be good to go and is a big touchdown target for Aaron Rodgers. Should get more volume going his way as well. So we're talking about volume distribution, how Christian Watson can be a factor, or if he can be a factor. You look at Allen Lazard, years to wow us, we're not wowed. Can he, take on that wide receiver 1 role without Adams? Maybe. I'm just not really sold. Now, the advantage that Lazard has to Watson is he got that rapport with Aaron Rodgers already. So he's got that going for him. Now, he's got Randall Cobb there, who, again, has that rapport, but he's old as heck. I'm not sold on Randall Cobb. And they brought in Sammy Watkins, who absolutely sucks, can't stay on the field, has done nothing for his entire career. And they got a rookie as well, I believe, in the 4th round, Romeo Dobbs. They got Amari Rodgers. They got a bunch of, bottom feeders, right? So it's up to Christian Watson, if he is good, if he's special, And again, what goes towards his favor is that he's young, he's dynamic, he's hungry. Randall Cobb, not as hungry, right? Been in the league for a long time. Little engine that could, just kind of just doing what he has to do. Sammy Watkins absolutely been terrible his entire career. Can he see a resurgence? Anything's possible. This is what makes fantasy so much fun, is the uncertainty. You got Robert Tonyan going to be getting some volume. You got Aaron Jones out of the backfield catching some targets. Either way, that void is there, and he's the top. This is the wide receiver they drafted because they knew they had to fill a void for Adams. And again, they brought in those safety blankets like Watson, right? So again, am I sold on Christian Watson being the next Devontae Adams? Absolutely not. No, that's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is you stash this guy, you got yourself a potential breakout and a guy that could get himself 100, 120 targets and really emerge as the wide receiver one because the talent around him sucks. Let's be honest. I don't believe Lazard is a true wide receiver one. I could be wrong. And you look at both these guys when you're drafting and you can get Watson later. I'm getting a better wide receiver earlier on, better than Lazard or a better position player. And then I'm getting Watson later, okay? And again, I explained this in the 16-round draft session, so make sure you grab it. All right, guys? Use code 220, save yourself 20%. All right, so we got Drake London, Watson. We're talking rookie wide receivers that you must have. Again, based on value, you're not paying much for these guys, and you're getting potentially 2 wide receiver ones. Drake London's almost guaranteed a wide receiver one. And if you don't get that guarantee with Christian Watson that he's a wide receiver one, you got yourself a better quarterback throwing to him, so that kind of evens things out. And I love Christian Watson. All right, guys? Now, the next guy I absolutely love here. Now, a lot of people, he's off a lot of people's radars because he's sitting 93rd on the consensus rankings. And this is why I don't like consensus rankings, because if you are sitting 93rd on the consensus rankings as a wide receiver, you're probably going to go undrafted unless someone like myself tells you about these guys. And we saw the same thing with Jamar Chase last year. He was higher up, but guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown and wide receivers like Waddle too, completely off the radar. People weren't drafting these guys. And I was telling you guys, stash these guys, right? And people don't see this stuff. Najee Harris last year outside the top 10. Rankings don't work. I don't do rankings. I believe in my rankings right now, somebody saw, I was posted somewhere, I said I'd rather have Mooney than Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill. Now, Tyreek Hill, I'm not going to sit here and talk about 3 guaranteed. Subscribe to the channel. I'm going to talk about declining players. But I'm not drafting Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams for many reasons, which I get into in another video, right? New quarterback, new situation, different scenario, volume, all that stuff, overrated, copy and pasted from last year. Tons of reasons why I'm not drafting. I'm going to do a whole video on that. So I'd rather have Mooney for value several rounds later than get myself a Tyreek Hill or Adams where I could be loading up on running backs early on instead of these guys that aren't going to perform the same way they did last year. Bottom line is this. The guy I'm talking about here is Alec Pierce. He's 93rd on the consensus rankings, right? He's not even talked about. But if you look at where he is, he's on Indianapolis Colts. Matt Ryan, I just talked to the beat writer for the Falcons. I've talked to the Colts beat writer. Matt Ryan is still good. He is a good quarterback. Could finish top 5 amongst quarterbacks, sitting 20th right now because he had a bad year last year. Again, copy and paste. Matt Ryan's going to have a great year, great O-line, tons of time to throw. And they've got Michael Pittman, who's similar to Lazard. I mean, Pittman is pretty good. I think Pittman is better than Lazard. But, Pittman's got to step up. I still think he's the wide receiver one, but he's a 3rd round guy. Like, you got to pay 3rd, 4th round. Maybe he slips to the 5th round. But the guy I'm talking about, you must draft, is Alec Pierce when you're talking rookie, because he is going to be the wide receiver too. They've got Paris Campbell. Now, go take a look at Paris Campbell's stats. The guy has not finished the season like ever. So you got Alec Pierce there coming in as a rookie, the top rookie drafted by the Colts this year. You got one of the best quarterbacks thrown to him in Matt Ryan, who throws for a ton of volume. Alec Pierce is a must draft later in drafts, and no one's going to be talking about him, right? Until he starts breaking out, which I believe he will because he's got Matt Ryan thrown to him, and there is no other wide receiver there. And even Michael Pittman has not proven to be a true wide receiver one, who could be a true wide receiver one this year with Matt Ryan throwing the ball. Stack boxes possibly for Taylor, opening things up. Alec Pierce, under the radar, comes in. Maybe Pittman's drawing double coverage, top corners, opening things up for Alec Pierce, who is one of the best pure deep ball receivers out of this rookie class. Alec Pierce, remember the name. Alec Pierce, if he busts, you can say, well, Joe, you know what? He busted, but thank you for letting me know about him. I had him on my bench. He had a good opportunity to succeed. It didn't work out. Or, hey, Joe, I didn't spend anything to get him, and I got myself a top 10, top 15 wide receiver. Thank you, Joel. I should have listened to you. I appreciate you. Worst case scenario, he doesn't do as good as you thought. You're not spending a lot to get him. But either way, you just put him on your bench, right? These 3 guys, jump out at me. Now, again, like I said, there's other wide receivers like John Mechie III, again, with Davis Mills there. Like Sky Moore has an opportunity. There's 2 wide receivers on the Kansas City Chiefs. Sky Moore, Justin Ross. Who is it, right? Who's going to be one of those guys? It could be Sky Moore. They got Juju. I'm not really sold on Juju. Again, there's so many other rookie wide receivers that we could talk about, but these 3 kind of jump out at me as guys you must draft and stash them on your roster, okay? Good value as well. Now, if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe. Drop a comment below. Which rookie wide receiver do you like and why, right? I want to know why in the comments below. And, of course, get the 16-round draft solution. Thanks, guys, for being here. Appreciate you. We'll talk soon. Fantasy is around the corner. Time to get hyped. We'll talk soon. I'm out.